Okay, section 7.2 is again looking at three-dimensional objects and looking at different two-dimensional diagrams of them. So just with the try these, it says label the front, right side, and top side of the structure. So this is an isometric drawing from section 7.1. Remember the left diagonal, that's always going to be the front. That's understood to be where the front of your object is. And then the other diagonal will be the right-hand side. And then obviously that part is the left, and then this part here is the top. Okay, so usually that's what's shown. We convert this into three diagrams of the front, right, and top. Sometimes we give the left, but not always. It's usually the front, right, and top. Says Jamie repairs vehicles. Sometimes he needs to use orthographic drawings in reference books. So what are orthographic? That's a drawing that shows the shape and size of an object using two-dimensional views. So it's just showing what the front is, showing what the top is, showing what the right is, etc. So which diagram is the top view of the car? That would be this one, B. What's the front view? So you want to see their front headlights, that's C. Side view, that would be here, A. And the rear view in this case would be D, the taillights. Okay, Sid is a design student. Sometimes he uses linking cubes to experiment with cubic building designs. A model Sid made is on the right. Okay, Sid made this drawing of the top view of his model. So take a close look at it, and there's a hint over here. Thicker lines are used to show the parts that are closer to you in each view. So for the top view, you have to pretend that you're above it, looking down. Okay, and you're really looking, you're actually standing at the front of it. So you're here, standing here, looking down on it at the front, and that's the view that you get. So you can see the closest to you are these two, that pillar with two cubes is the closest. Okay, then you look down from there, and you kind of look at it as if, okay, now let's pretend that it's just a two-dimensional object. So you have one coming out to the left, two coming out to the right, and one to the front. This doesn't tell you how far down they are, right? The darker and lighter doesn't specify about how much different they are, just that the darker lines are closer or higher up, closer to you looking down or higher up on the object. Okay, so it says, explain how you know the view Sid drew represents this model. Well, the two squares with thick lines represent the tall, I'll call it the tall tower. Okay. Yeah, so the highest blocks. Oops. The two squares together with thin lines represent, well, they are the two blocks on the right. In this case, it's just one block high on the right when you're looking down at it. Square at the left with thin lines, again, represents the one block on the left. We already talked about this. And the square at the bottom with thin lines represents the one block at the front. Okay. Draw the front view and the right side views. Label each one. Okay, so let's go back to look at it here. So the front view, now we pretend that we're smaller, right? And we're just looking at it here. So I see basically 4 across, and then after the first one, it's up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I'll worry about the dark or light. So 4 across. So here I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. and 5 up. So 3, 4, 5 up. Okay, and let's go back. Yeah, because those were only one high. So now the block that's closest to this person looking at the front is just this one here. So that's going to be darker. So I go back. Oops, these are blocks as well. And then this one here, I make darker. Okay. Go back. Yeah, and then after that, there's no difference. Like you can't tell from the front view that the tower is too wide. That's why you're going to need more than just the front view. You'll need the top. There you can see it's more than one wide. Okay, so then the right side view. So now we're looking here. And so it's 3 across and then 5 high. So now 3 across and 5 high, 3, 4, 5. Now the back, this goes all the way, right? So it's 3 across there, and then these are all blocks, right? And so what's your closest block or blocks is just between the 3, it's the middle one. Oops. So it's this one here. Okay. So this was the front, and this is the right. Okay. Example 2, Win operates a metal stamp machine. He has blueprints that show these orthographic drawings of a metal auto part he will make. Draw an isometric diagram of the part. So now we're going from the diagrams to an isometric drawing. This is the top, front, and right side. Okay, so they give you some steps. Draw the top of the object. Some of the lines have been drawn for you. So remember, the front is going to be diagonal this way. It's going to be the front. Okay, and so it says to draw the top first. So the top there looks like it's overall, it's a rectangle, but this L shape is closest. It's at the top, and it's 3 blocks. Well, take a look here. They've got, so there's one block there, and another block, all right, and then there's your 3 blocks. So that's the top, okay, and then it goes out one more block this way, but below, okay, and then it goes out one block this way, but below as well, okay, so it's going to be likely, this is giving a hint, right? It's going to be down here, but let's just leave it at that for now. Then it says add the front of the object to your diagram. One of the lines has been done for you. So there's that diagonal line that's been done there. So then it's 3 units across from there. And it is diagonal on both sides. So this has to match. So this went over basically 1 over 2 down. So I've got to go 1 over 2 down. Oh, I've got to go, yeah, but it's in 3 dimensions. So I've got to go, actually, it's better to do it count across. And that 3 units there is these 3 units there. So it doesn't, it's not quite the same diagonal because it's an isometric. Okay, and then, so we've drawn the front, and then the right side. So again, the right side, it's on a curve, and you can tell it from there. And so there's no steps to it or anything like that. So we're just going to draw out that curve there. And really, I'm probably going to just erase this because these little boxes here. Okay, now the only thing left is that I haven't filled out. So this is going to be going down, right? And so there's a chunk taken out on the left. Okay, and that shows the 3 dimensions there. So they're a little bit challenging to draw. It takes a little bit of time, but make sure you use a pencil and you'll get it once you practice enough. So that's the end of the lesson. So now do the practice for 7.2 and then on to 7.3.